If women hold the lowest rank in the order of hierarchy, as seen in the umbrella diagram, making them the lowest servants, wouldn't that make them the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Now, before you call me a heretic and burn me at the stake, let me clarify a few things. I'm not saying this diagram applies to everyone, and I'm not saying women are going to rule over all the men in heaven. I am speaking generally, stereotypically, about the church organizations and participants that believe in this power structure umbrella and enforce it. Jesus said that whoever wanted to be the greatest in the kingdom must be the lowest servant. Jesus modeled this himself by leaving his throne in heaven and taking on human flesh. Being born in obscurity and poverty, Jesus, the Son of God, author of all creation, humbled himself to the point of death on a cross for you and for me. He took the largest step down from power that we could ever imagine. But Jesus' meekness and humility is not what we see being elevated in the church today. These are not the qualities a substantial chunk of Christian men are aiming for or being taught to aim for in their lives. What is often emphasized instead is order and hierarchy, masculine power and authority. Be a man, be a leader, be strong, be powerful, be masculine, rule your home well. The Gothard umbrella has been widely accepted, not just by those part of the IBLP, the Institute of Basic Life Principles cult, but widely by evangelical Christians. These umbrellas of authority permeate Christian culture. Instead of emphasizing in Ephesians 5 the mutual submission of husbands and wives, the submission of women is emphasized along with the authority of the husband. The aspects of submission, lowliness, and humility attributed to the husband, who is supposed to be like Jesus who laid down his life, is rarely given the emphasis that is often placed on order and hierarchy, and the calling out of female leadership as evil. But this seems to be quite contrary to the teachings of Jesus, who over and over expressed how greatness in the kingdom directly correlated with our lowliness, humility, and service to others here on this earth. God uses the weak to shame the strong. God uses the foolish things of the world to shame the wise, as we see in 1 Corinthians 1:27. The people who believe in the umbrella don't seem to realize that they are part of a system, an order in which, according to Jesus' teachings, would result in women's lowliness. Their practice of taking the lowest rank would eventually make them the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Many have convinced themselves that their leadership or creation of a successful ministry or their faithful proclamation of the gospel is the greatest service to the kingdom. Their ability to preach, their theological degrees, their doctrinal knowledge puffs them up. I think they truly believe that they will be great in the kingdom. So filled with knowledge, constantly learning, and yet missing some of the most basic principles that Jesus taught. In many ways, they are just repeating the mistakes of the Pharisees in their religiosity. Just imagine when we get to heaven, we see the Christian women of the ages, many never recorded in history because they were seen as of little consequence. Many silenced and discriminated against simply because of their sex. Having taken on the lowest forms of service, often in history treated the same as slaves, imagine the kingdom where lowly women, slaves, children, and the truly meek men who were regarded by other people as weak for their meekness are here in heaven regarded as great, while the macho alpha males, the authoritarian husbands, the pastors who ruled over their congregations, and even some of the fathers, church fathers, and theologians practically worshipped and regarded as great according to human standards and tradition, are now lesser in God's kingdom? This is not difficult to imagine based on the teachings of Jesus. Now, I'm not saying all pastors, theologians, and church fathers will be lesser. Obviously, God is the judge of the heart and our motivations. He sees when we do things out of love or when we use religion for selfish purposes. Ultimately, He will decide who is the least and who is the greatest in the kingdom. But Jesus has already told us that if you want to be great in the kingdom, you must be the lowest servant. Those who love, those who are kind, those who are meek, those who mourn, whose hearts break and eyes weep, those who are lowly, who are compassionate, tender, empathetic, merciful, those who are pure of heart, innocent, void of evil, those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. To those belong the kingdom. Don't believe me? Read the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 5. God will raise up the humble, and He will humble the proud. It ought to make us consider how we choose to live our lives. That being said, I want to clarify. If you are being oppressed at the bottom of this diagram, I'm not encouraging you to stay there. I'm not encouraging you, as others might, to just suffer and waste away under those mistreating you. In fact, I would encourage you to consider the damage that will weigh on your person and soul and escape to safety. Choosing to serve is not the same as being forced into servitude by others misusing Scripture against you as a weapon. Jesus doesn't set up systems of oppression. Jesus came to set captives free, and you are not obligated to take up another yoke of slavery. I am simply pointing out here that God brings justice. Those who sought authority and power over others in this life may have already received their reward, while those who have served humbly have yet to be rewarded by God. The Bible tells us that one day we will rule with Him, and that some will be great in the kingdom, while others will be the least. Now, what exactly that looks like is a mystery, but I am confident in this. We ought to, in the deepest parts of our being, in our hearts, in our lives and actions, be the people the Beatitudes describe. If we are not, we are missing the heart of what it means to follow and be like Jesus. Matthew 11:28-30 says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. My yoke is easy and my burden is light." If that hasn't been your experience, maybe you haven't been experiencing Jesus. Thank you for watching. Please support this channel by becoming a patron. Check out the many ways you can give down in the description below. Thanks for watching.